Dr. Chen Diofan and Nicholas Kokolis from Pi Network, and Yanxing from Sign. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. Okay, if you're having a great time, if you're excited for this, can we please make some noise? That's how we do it. So, the most beautiful introduction. Also, Claire is here on phone. Yeah. Okay, so you guys know, like, no matter how wacky, how crazy an introduction gets, it's gotta be an introduction. So, let's go. Let's introduce Pi and Sai. And thank you guys for being so respectful and so quiet with all of your guys' attention here. This is beautiful and we really appreciate that. Let's go.
Hi, I'm one of the two founders of Paitv.
I'm the other founder. Everyone, I'm Shin. Welcome to your sign. By the way, this I think this is Pi co-founders. The first time they joined to do a crypto event or something. So shall we have more applause for the?
I'm Claire, the other co-founder of Sign Magic Products.
And now, the second most exciting thing is, why don't we introduce what Sign and Pi are doing and what we're building and what we want the world to know about Pi and Sign.
Well, Pi is a lot of things. First, it's a cryptocurrency, a layer 1 blockchain. We actually have over 350,000 nodes on our testnet, ready to be migrated to the mainnet. We're also a social network, and our mobile users, engaged users, are over 60 million all over the world. And we're also a developer platform where people can develop in any language using the SDK of Pi. And we're also a utility-focused ecosystem. That means including local commerce. We see a lot of Korean pioneers today coming over. They're actually running shops integrating with Pi locally and also all over the world in other places in the world. And we also have a lot of apps on top of the Pi ecosystem platform. And the platform level utilities like Pi App Network, which is a business model built in Pi for people running online apps. We also recently released an AI-powered app studio where we enable non-technical people to be able to create their own apps, and not just create, but also deploy on the platform and being accessible by users of the Pi network. So the next stage of Pi is continue expanding our community and ecosystem, emphasizing utility and go beyond.
Okay, I guess it's our turn. So, Sign is a leading blockchain tech company, existing for 4.5 years, and we're interested on two things. One is basically bring crypto to more people. Like say, we work with a lot of nations and countries. We're penetrating their defenses in a sense. Like we're trying to provide services, like say, start from stablecoin to ID system to a blockchain for every citizen from that country, work with the government, work with central banks. That's the first thing. And secondly, we also paint a dream of to make crypto become the largest global capital market, replace Nasdaq and NYSE in 5 to 10 years. I think there will be more countries issue assets, like people, more entrepreneurs, issue assets into crypto, compared to the traditional world. And because it's inherently a more fair market. Like everybody can access to a market and buy assets on market. And every entrepreneur, whoever have real assets can raise funds from the market. So we're also like building with whatever like necessary to make it happen.
Beautiful. All right, next question. So that was a beautiful introduction. So if you guys heard what they said, you guys already know what the alpha is. All right, the next step. So we do have a list of beautiful questions, but I'm going to get a little jiggly with it, with a little freestyle. So I'm going to ask you guys, what are your favorite things about Pi and about Sign? Like personally, what is your favorite thing about Pi and for you guys about Sign? So yeah, I'll pass this mic to everyone here.
For me, it's really the community, you guys here and everyone around the world. So this is really moving that we started the project more than 7 years ago now. And we had the dream, the vision of building Pi. So we started actually at a shopping mall where we thought one day that we were going to get introduced Pi to the first 100 people. And we spent a lot of time. Yao, me, and Yao spoke with a lot of people. We got a lot of rejections. We didn't manage to recruit 100. We got I think 54. Yeah. So that's
basically we go up to strangers in the mall to do an interview, understanding people's vision about their potential, whether cryptocurrency is relevant to their lives, and that's where we actually understand and identify what blockchain can actually do for everyday people, and also identify what is the barrier of the crypto industry can overcome to actually truly achieve the mass adoption.
Yeah, so that's where it started, and for a long time we stayed with those 54 users, and we realized that it doesn't make sense to try to explain the vision in person, and we wrote the white paper, and after that the rest is history.
For me, I think the most exciting thing about Sign is when we transfer from the proof concept to when we see that, this government can actually benefit from this technology that we have been building for years. Maybe we are one step earlier. That's like the most exciting step, the things that I feel about Sign. For example, we were building this thing that brings all data on-chain, right? And you would think that's so technical and nerdy. But then once the government say, maybe we can have the entire country blacklist put on chain, and it makes sense to put that data on blockchain so that it's sovereign neutral and all that application. When we see the real application of the technology we're actually building, that's I think truly exciting for me.
Yeah, for me personally, it's actually a very personal thing. Like everything things are changing very fast. Like like honestly, like I was a student. Like I'm just thinking if I actually got a job, I traded for Meta. Like I was studying like WE. I'm a WE major student. So, but I mean in crypto, I realized this is a way, this is a trend, this is a future that we are here. We're able to build something like Visa. Visa is like company like you have one card, you can spend your money everywhere. Or like Swift, like you have money, you can transfer everybody, you got a Swift code. I think right now with blockchain, we get the opportunity to build that level of technology, which really made me so excited. And we're really a mission-driven company. We're just build whatever is necessary to make it happen. Make it like if you have money, you can really spend it. Not like if you go to Hong Kong, like but you don't have cash, like just stop there. And in Korea, same thing. Like you just you don't have cash and credit card, you have Alipay, and you're stuck. So things will be easier. Like things will change, and I'm excited because the world is really changing, and I see the signs of there's a lot of opportunities.
We do see the signs of a lot of opportunities. So if anything, from what we've heard, this is a sign to go up to that beautiful person at the bar and ask them what cryptocurrency and crypto technology will do for you in your future. Yeah! Okay, that was wonderful, beautiful. Thank you guys so much for sharing. And now on the topic. So and now it's time to talk about our future. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys envision the future of Pi Network and Sign as?
So, I've been actually talking about for a long time. So we're basically thinking about make it standardized. What we do. So right now we're mostly working on. We're gonna introduce what we really do every day. Say we have one project with this country, one project with Thailand. If you right now go to Thailand, you might using our tech. And but we're gonna combine them into one thing. Say we're gonna build a standard, basically the development, crypto infrastructure development fund, and we're gonna talk to different countries. We want to improve blockchain infrastructure, and it's us, and with our growth, we're gonna come to build for you, and we're gonna bring our money. We don't really need government budget, and we'll just build for you. So if we're looking for an efficient way to really push adoption in a lot of countries, and to create a new standard of how money works and how identity works. In the future, I can't imagine. So right now, the passport is only global identity standard, and but still different passport using different signature algorithms, and the people when they travel America, passport is a lot complicated. I think things will be dramatically improved in the next version of the world. So that's what we're doing.
All right, let's go.
By the way, right? I just want to say also for Pi, right? Pi is the one thing I learned about Pi. Pi have a huge 2xc network, right? So say if you are in 2xc, Pi have tens of millions 2xc users. Say basically Pi already verified who you are. If you put the identity on someone, you can use the Pi identity on somewhere else. That should work, right? Say just like when you go to another country, people should be able to verify your passport. Same thing, in the future, you are able to verify some other people are able to verify your Pi function, Pi identity, and probably you will get a job because you have a lot of Pi and work contribute to Pi identity for a long time. So that will be much more doable from technical perspective.
Yeah, thank you. So for Pi, we have always been committed to utility building. As I mentioned, we emphasize the utility-focused ecosystem. So it will continue doing that. Basically, we have multiple layers of strategy of how the utility building can be continued and expanded. There are high-level there are two levels. The grassroots, meaning that there are so many people creating utility, and then maybe the ratio of that is low, that actually results in high quality and actual killer app. And it's in the initiative that we have launched, like for example App Studio, which is enabling a mass audience being able to create. And then we will basically try to surface those ones that are good quality and continue to pave the way and support them with a business model like Pi App Network, supporting them with more developer resources or creator resources to enable that kind of breakthrough of relying on AI to enable next generation of app creation. But there is also from a little bit top-down kind of approach, like the Pi App Network venture, which basically targeting high signal kind of teams that are in synergy with Pi and encourage them to build on top of Pi. And of course, for any kind of investment fund, you can only invest this few, like 1,000 in a year. So that's why it's a high signal, high vetting, and high touch kind of a project. So we hope to have this kind of two-way strategy to hopefully enable the next generation of killer apps on top of Pi. And why we emphasize utility? Utility means that we really hope that blockchain networks being able to produce products that are actually useful and address a human need. Now, what that means? That means that despite all the noises of the market and such, people actually use this product for the sake of its own functionality. And like people come to everyday life, they think of this product actually is supported by a Web3 infrastructure. And I think we have the potential, and that's the reason I guess the crowd here is we truly believe that blockchain will be a killer technology in the future. And we are in the cycle right now, or probably echo chamber right now, we need to break through, to break that echo chamber, to actually go to the next phase of development and really achieve killer apps that solve real human needs. And that's also the Pi's continuous, constant goal of doing that. And of course, this type of thing is called, real utility and production generation. That is hard. That takes time. And the turnaround is definitely longer and more difficult than any PR or marketing stunt. And the turnaround time is long-term. So long-termism really needs to be really kicking into the crypto space to do the hard work, do the innovation, because value creation is always harder than value extraction. Value extraction is about reallocating the same resource in different hands. And that is much easier than value creation. Creation means it actually have a net value increase, which means that you need to have solve some real need. People really want to use this as a service, that people actually demand this. And we need more of this kind of creation, products coming out of networks. And what can we do as an ecosystem builder? First of all, is supporting them with all the amazing infrastructure of the blockchain and crypto. It's an amazing and powerful tool. At the same time, it can be inhibiting. I will talk about that actually in next week's talk of why some of the tools so powerful, but not very well aligned in a sense to create utility in a way that we expect. We need to fix that as an ecosystem builders to align the creation efforts towards usefulness, use cases, and utility. So that's the next stage.
I'm gonna go after this. So please help me about that. How many get a taxi? So, but really, I want to echo this because I really love this event because I want to, for me, like I've been in crypto for a long time. I've been an investor, I've been a founder, but what I've seen, like a lot of people from, like here, we're in an echo chamber because crypto is an echo chamber. All we see is every day, like Ease, Solana, Ton, and Ton is a new thing. The reason I love Ton is Ton will have a lot of real users. But so or is in a sense is an echo chamber. We have like people like go to conference and after conference, we have the same group of people. And we don't really see the user you're actually providing services to. You're just actually issuing, like constantly issuing different assets to people to pump and dump. Like it's just a gamble game. It's not really scalable, not really like value creative. So that's why I'm like really a big fan of Pi. I really want to have work more with Python, this kind of projects to really break the echo chamber of crypto, right? We're here, we're not building for like whoever comes to this conference. We're here to build for everyone in this world. Like I also want to echo like building real stuff is always not easy. I mean, like there's so many ways to make quick money. And just after you're done with token, you do another one. So find your classmates and do another one. So that's what like usually like the typical like playbook in crypto. But I would say it's also like the goals, right? If you want to make a quick buck, or if you want your token to be on the top 10 cryptocurrency, so like we need to unite a real like start from a small team, like co-founders, like your team members. You build a small circle, and then you build a strong community, and you build a mechanism to keep increase value into this stuff. That's how we grow. How we keep growing until like one day you are in the top 10 or top 5. And like maybe the other day we'll see like there's 2 points in top 5. Yeah, I gotta go for catching a flight, but it's really a pleasure to meet you. Thank you guys. And Claire will talk more because I speak more time. So thank you. Thanks for everybody coming.
Alright, welcome back to Claire. So Claire is going to be representing herself and Sign Daddy seeing. Okay, so there is absolutely no way that I can talk what they just said. So I would say yes, exactly what they just said. And also like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting goosebumps. And like one thing about what makes an empire is the people leading that empire truly believe in what they're building. And I believe that we are seeing true passion here. So with that, the next question, I'm gonna go a little interview-wise. what was the biggest challenge that you guys faced along the way, and what you learned from overcoming these challenges?
Well, since we have such a long history of building for 6 or 7 years, a lot of challenges. I guess I can share some idea. Maybe Nicholas can share some as well. One of the challenge is basically, as I also touched on, Pi takes a very non-conformist approach. But people expect, in my view these days in crypto, more like a cookie cutting kind of process. When it's a protocol, you need to expect to have this, A, B, and C. And if you don't see that, you kind of like have different expect, like it kind of like irrelevant or something. But actually, real innovation really comes from non-conformist approaches. You can repeat the same process again and again, actually expect that innovation to occur. So that's why we are quite different. We take a very different approach. We emphasize, for example, mainstream. The reason is because you need to build real products. You need to have mainstream users, merchants, to actually join the network. You can't only have a group of people only care about the fluctuation of some number. You have to have people who understand go on in their real life and then may actually use some services from this network. So that's why we have a very different approach. Also, a different one is like KYC. Like why? I've never heard of a whole network is KYC. Who does that? And also, we spend tremendous time actually building the KYC solution natively, specifically to avoid pioneers having to pay out-of-pocket costs. So our KYC solution actually is not requiring our pioneers to pay US dollars, and also they can participate in a way that is self-bootstrap in a sense. And it covers all geolocations of the whole Pi network, which is literally almost every country and region. And that never happened before, and we actually achieved over 14 million KYC users on our blockchain. And this type of approach are very different. And the reason is because the high level we think is still aiming for real utility creation. And the real utility and actually bring out potential of blockchain, it touches on ownership. The ownership of real stuff. So when there is ownership, in order to be compliant, you need to know who is who owns what. Thus, we think that the KYC is a very important aspect of any network, any Web3 that touches on ownership and financial related matters. So that's why we build this component and make this component possible. And I know that there are some online posts saying that, I don't KYC and such. But look at the grand scheme of things. It has Pi KYC has processed and actually enabled 14 million people who KYC. This scale is already so big compared to other networks. So this is something that we uniquely take, but that does not necessarily understood by the rest of the world. So that's something I see as a challenge of trying to kind of balancing, trying to communicate what we're doing, which is different, and get the world to understand. At the same time, continue and persistently pursuing our North Star, which is to create utility.
Well, there's many challenges. I would say one, more focusing on the technical side. So, on the blockchain, sometimes you can create a pretty successful product with tens of thousands of users or thousands of transactions or things happening per month. But when on Pi we have tens of millions of people visiting the app every day, that creates a different level of technical challenge, which is more known to Web 2 than Web 3. I wish the days that we used to have one database and one server for a few days, they were good old days. But the moment you are on internet scale, and you have thousands of servers, and you have hundreds of database servers, and a lot of different technologies, because you can't really handle one single type of database, can't really handle all the kinds of different traffic needs that you have. creates a really challenging and interesting problem for us computer scientists. That was a challenge and clear in my life.
I can comment. Actually, on the initial phase, like early on, like the first year or so, Pi actually went through growing pain, meaning that our community grows so much faster than our tech infrastructure. And probably early on, pioneers may also remember the experience. Sometimes the app was down for a period of time. That's because our infrastructure needs to catch up with the growth of our community. So Nicholas was literally waking up every day for a long time.
Not a few times that moderators called us telling us that the app is not working. So thank you guys.
Download the app, it's working great.
That was all in the past.
Yeah, but I realized with the KYC thing, it's so hard to do the entire KYC number. I think that's the hard part, to do like things that other people are not doing. But I will talk about some attestation stuff later that maybe we can do something together on KYC side. But I think for science, especially from my perspective, the hard thing is within the crypto community, things are changing so quickly, and there are so many different tracks and hypes. You know, like maybe like for 10 days that this topic's the thing, and people cash them out for high, people make so much money, and you get like slightly jealous, saying that, oh, maybe we're heads down building the tech, like but these people, they maybe like catch the hype, and this is some hot topic, should we just like switch lane? I think a lot of cards do that, where same group of people will launch one coin, and then following the other, just catching the hype, and it's really hard to block all these noises and heads down building what we thought was like really important. I think that's coming from my DP part, because we have been building this thing for 4 years, and I think for the past 3 years we have been experimenting with the tech, or we have been experimenting with the product. We thought, oh, it makes sense to bridge the off-chain data on-chain. That should be a great thing, because we want to ultimately build this credit system on-chain. But at that time, maybe people are just thinking about buying new coins, or are they thinking about bringing assets? But I think we are a step earlier, because after all the assets are brought on-chain, then data comes in. So we were thinking that maybe we keep our heads down, building the data infrastructure, building the asset distribution system, which I will talk later, and maybe this will catch up. And it did. After we have been building all these tech infrastructure, now we have a good framework that we can present to traditional people and bring them on chain, bring the blockchain this solution to them that other people might not be able to compete within like just a few days. And because we have to build it in 3 years. And I think that's the biggest challenge, and also the biggest thing that I'm thankful about.
You know what, Claire, thank you so much for not saying that the biggest challenge was putting up with me, because like everyone in the side team are like serious builders, and I'm out there like, hey, how y'all doing? And yeah, I appreciate that. So on the topic of how y'all doing, so one of the key themes that came up in the recent discussion was KYC. 1 second while I Google what KYC means, as the intern. So KYC means, wait for it, know your customer. And that is a way that we verify our own identity for platforms or for entities. And I'm about to switch it up with the questions. So everyone here, besides me, everyone here is very good at KYC, know your customer, but do you know yourselves? So the next question is, what is the biggest thing that you learned about yourself as you were building Pi and Sign? In the meantime, while everyone is thinking, okay, so I could say if you love Pi, if you love Sign, make some noise, but also I'm not trying to make it cringe. So if you love Pi, if you love Sign, blink. Hey, look at that, everyone loves us. Also, I appreciate you guys. And it's also very heartwarming to be here to see huge shout out to all of our friends, all of our family, all of our new friends, and everyone who is here in this room with us. Your presence, every single one of you guys, means a lot to all of you guys. So thank you. All right, now do we have an answer? What is the thing that you learned about yourself as you were building Pi and Sign?
Well, I guess how many nights I'm not sleeping and I can still produce.
Hey, that's so real.
Oh no, you stole mine.
I think one thing that I'm
That's beautiful. All right, now before I get fired, let's get back to some serious questions. So we've learned about Pi, we've learned about Sign, what they're building, their past, present, future. So we did it from like a very macro perspective. Now let's zoom in and let's talk about a specific feature of Sign and Pi that you guys want to introduce to the world. So I know that Claire was talking about asset distribution system, token table, and also Pi has one of the biggest, or not one of the biggest community on the app, or in Web3, in crypto, or like low-key like in the world. So this is a chance to talk, to hone in about one specific feature that you want to share with our audience here today.
Oh, okay. I can talk about token table. Token table is my favorite product because it makes us money. It's one of our most revenue generating products. I think I really like this product because we started off as a concept. We wanted to build the on-chain cap table for crypto companies. That was our mission. But when we were pitching to clients, a lot of crypto companies, they probably they want to. All they're thinking about at the time of TGE is how to distribute tokens to the community, how to get the investor unlocked. So they're probably not thinking about the cap table. So we restructured the product a little bit and just simplified it and changed it into just asset distribution smart contract. We help you to distribute tokens to millions of clients, millions of recipients. And that worked out because we solved the problem one step at a time. And at that time, Tom was really popular. Tom was still very popular. But Telegram is, everybody is using Telegram in the crypto native space, right? And there are a lot of popular mini games where easily they can get millions of users. And when we were presenting token table, we developed a smart contract on Ton where the projects will be able to deposit token and just make the token reachable to millions of users. We did the biggest airdrop in the history for Dog's team, where we distributed more than 10 million claimers. And that was when we taste that, okay, this product actually worked out.
42.2 million claimers.
More than 10 million claimers.
42.2 million.
42.2 million. Thank you. That was the feeling that, okay, so many people are using our product, so many people are directly interacting with our smart contract. This is actually scalable. And then later on, we expand token table to multi-chain. We have so many different crypto projects to do airdrops, to do investor unlocking. And we also partner with a lot of top players within the industry to do stakers unlock, to do Yappers airdrop, which I will talk about later. But that's one thing I'm really excited about with this token table.
I guess I already talked about Obstudio. I think that's the most recent release, and I think we explained actually in our announcement very clearly. Pi is definitely embracing the revolution of AI, not because AI is just another word, but because we truly believe that AI will change the world and how we live, and blockchain and AI in our view, is very connected, and I will also address the relationship that in the talk next week in token. But basically, AI, not only AI facilitating the production of different apps, but AI integrated in the app level as well. And I think Obstudio has been first initiative to release to try to address that problem. And as I mentioned, the differentiator from Obstudio from typical white coding is that not only it enables creation without coding of the app, but also it finishes the deployment, which is actually a lot of white coding programs doesn't do. It may give you some instruction how to deploy it. That also requires the person who created to have some technical knowledge in order to do those steps to deploy. But for Obstudio, literally people can just use a user interface to deploy, and also connecting their apps to real users in the ecosystem. So this is like a pipeline of actually supporting app building than just a facilitator of code generation. And that's why we are very excited about Obstudio, and we are very much looking forward to its second and third iteration. And of course, also ecosystem-related interfaces are going to facilitate surfacing useful apps generated by Obstudio. I think the first We only released it for 3 months or so. Thousands of apps were generated from upstream. So the next stage is how can we identify and servicing and promoting the good ones? How can we facilitate the app creators to have business model in their apps so that everyone can actually literally run online business online. So this is one of the cool features product we have.
This is indeed a very cool feature, and I'm so honored to be here listening to the alpha straight from the geniuses behind everything. And also, I gotta say, like I've been in crypto for a while. Not really, but don't tell anyone that. But I've been to a few conferences, and this is one of the first conferences where the MC doesn't have to say, "Yo, be quiet." And like I see everyone like paying such great attention, so I really, really appreciate that. And I see like the power that Pi and Sign has. This has been a beautiful fireside chat. Also, like thank you, Chendiel, Nicholas, Claire, and Shin earlier. And with that said, we're ready to move on to the next program. So it's up to you guys whether you guys would like, because Pi Network also prepared a wonderful PowerPoint presentation for us. And besides that, we also have Q&A. So it's up to you guys whether you want to proceed with Q&A first or the presentation first. That is absolutely valid. So it is time for Q&A. So you guys can raise your hand and smile. We'll pass you the mic and ask questions to anyone on stage. But like if you ask me a question, the only thing I can answer is like what my favorite color is. That might not be too exciting, it's green. But mostly for